Hi everyone, Simon Keeley here. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. It is Thursday the 11th of October and the site itself kept free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen here. So by you coming back and using the site regularly and using the adverts, it's that generates the revenue that keeps it all free of charge. Now, if you've been watching over the last few days, you know it's been a bit of a tricky forecast. We've seen patterns swapping and changing, and it's still a tricky one today. The main problem really is deciding on how the pattern actually develops. Not only what goes on this weekend, but how it develops into next week, because there's a fine line now being drawn between the weather going cold and disturbed and between being less disturbed and unsettled, and it all depends on where the jet stream is. We'll kick off first of all with this chart from the PSU eWall site, and this is the 7 to 10 day mean of the 500 millibar flow from the ECMWF on the left, the GFS on the right, and this goes through from next Friday through to Saturday the 20th. And ECMWF during that period, you can see, develops this real low in the heights across the west of Ireland during that period, pushes the jet stream down through northern Spain and up through Central Europe, bringing unsettled conditions down there. And you see the above normal heights here to the north, and effectively this ridge is kind of just squeezing down this this cold pool, pushing it further south, hence the reason for the jet stream being so far south. Look at the GFS, it makes things a little bit different. What it does, it builds in this ridge off the eastern seaboard of the States, links it in with the above normal heights that are across the pole, and notice how those heights as well look are spread further back than the heights are on the ECMWF. We've lost this little area of low heights around northern Canada, and what that does is it's enabling this higher section of heights to allow it to be shifted that little bit further northwards. And what that's doing is it means that the jet stream can kind of bounce back up a little bit. Imagine like a piece of elastic. It's kind of, instead of being pushed down like that, it's able to kind of bounce its way back, and it's bringing it across the Atlantic again, but more across sort of Brest, northern France, down into parts of Eastern Europe. And what it does is that pushes this cold pool, the lower heights there, to the west of Scotland, and means that we're on a warmer side of the jet stream. So it's that really that causes us the problem, deciding where is this actually going to be. I think I know which one I favour, and I'll tell you more in just a mo. But I just wanted to show you the charts here, comparing the charts for next Sunday. So it's a week on Sunday. This is the 21st, and just show you what the problem is here. This is the ECMWF ensemble that's just arrived. You see it's got low pressure off Western Ireland. It brings in a ridge, look here, across eastern parts of Europe. And this would be unsettled. It's still going to be rain around western areas and pretty breezy too, but it would be drier in the east, and we'd see temperatures probably around about 15 or 16 degrees, so slightly above normal. Compare that to the GFS ensemble for the same time, and look, you see both of those charts are virtually identical, with low pressure centred off towards the west. Compare it to the Canadian, and yes, they make more of this low look, but again, still got this ridge out towards the east, so we'd still see most of the rain across western areas, or central and eastern areas would tend to be on the drier side. So I mean, if you compare those charts, look, so that's the ECMWF ensemble, that's the GFS ensemble, and that's the Canadian. So you might say to yourself, well, Simon, where's the problem? Well, let me show you what the problem is. This is the ECMWF operational model for the same time, and just look, it's got a complex low out towards the east, no sign of your ridge, and brings a cold northerly blast down through the country, building a ridge in the western Atlantic. Now the problem here is that the ECMWF operational has been proving itself pretty reliable. So whereas normally you'd look at all those other models and say, well, that's the way we've really got to edge this, the ECMWF has been consistently trying to bring in this colder air, and I can't help thinking this is the way things are potentially going to be developing. We'll come back to it in just a moment, but this is where I think this may well go. One of the other problems we've got as well in the forecast at the moment is the forecast for Sunday, because Met Office has quite a deep low affecting southern parts of England during Sunday. ECMWF swings a feature through as well, deepening a trough. It's the strengthening of the trough on Sunday really that causes the problem, and that can mean the difference between a wet, windy, horrible autumnal day across southern England on Sunday, or just a few showers. And it's interesting just to look at the GFS clusters here. These are the cluster diagrams from weatheronline.co.uk, and they're from various different runs of the model, and basically what they do is they enable you to get an idea as to what what the various different runs of the model, or what the various different starting points of the model are trying to do for the same time. And this one here is showing us an area of low pressure that's off the south coast of England. Look, fairly deep. If I can get it up for you properly. So it's a fairly deep area of low pressure, look there, off the, no, it won't do it properly, there we go, off the south of England. And what that says is basically the same as the Met Office, which is that it's going to be pretty unsettled. A 35% chance of that. A 30% chance of the low being further east and still a cool northerly flow. A 20% chance of the low being a broader feature, most of the rain being over northern France. And a 15% chance of that low being to the south. So it doesn't develop it quite as much, but still sees it as a feature. So I think I'm going to go with quite a wet one for Sunday. So with all that uncertainty, let's just get on and have a look at how the forecast actually shapes up. And this is the chart for 7 o'clock this morning. If we knock it on through, look, you'll notice how this is the rain coming into the west. Look, our area of low pressure. Move it on through and you notice that low just edging its way eastwards during the course of today, bringing heavy spells of rain. I think there could be some localised flooding for northwestern parts of England and Scotland during the course of today, but we should eventually find the rain clearing away from the east by tonight. I think then we're going to find some dry weather moving in and a much colder day for Friday across much of England, Wales and Ireland. Just 1 or 2 showers around out towards the west. 1 or 2 of those could be on the heavy side and pretty breezy too. Staying wet across northern eastern Scotland, but for many, shelter from those westerly winds. It should be a much drier day to come on Friday. Then we get in towards Saturday, and still rain, look, affecting northern parts of Scotland during the course of Saturday, starting to slip its way south again. A few showers affecting western coast, but for the vast majority of the country, it's a dry day with sunny spells and feeling pretty cool. On Sunday, probably a more disturbed day for Sunday, with that low drifting its way southwards. Look, this is the low just in here that's forecast to cross southern parts of the country. Now, I think that what that's going to do is bring the potential for strong winds and wet weather across southern Wales, across to kind of central parts of East Anglia southwards. This area here, I think, has got the potential for some really wet weather to come on Sunday. I think further north, got rain across northern England, southern Scotland, but showers affecting northern and western Scotland and also parts of Ireland as well. And a cold day for all of us on Sunday. Then into Sunday night into Monday, ridge of high pressure builds in. That could lead to a slight ground frost in places on Monday morning, but Monday should be a much brighter day with some sunny spells, although some rain affecting northern and eastern parts of Scotland. And then into Tuesday, heavier bursts of rain coming through Ireland, western Scotland, western Wales and into southwest England overnight into Tuesday. Those spread their way eastwards fairly quickly during the day, but some pretty hefty bursts of rain and some strong winds as well, to be followed by sunny spells and some blustery showers coming in from the west. For Wednesday, I think low pressure is still in control, and I think we will see a mix of sunshine and showers. Need to watch Wednesday carefully. You see this little low going into the Bay of Biscay. Well, if this does develop, it could be that heavy showers affect more western and southwestern part of the country too, so we just need to watch out for that. And then as we head in towards Thursday of next week, still low pressure close by. Look, during Thursday you'll notice that area just coming up across the southeast. It could be we get some pretty heavy rain down in the south and east during the early part of Thursday, and then go to sunshine and hefty showers. That rain perhaps going back onto the eastern coast of the country into Friday. However, I think the chance that we need to pick up on really is this one from the ECMWF, because we go forward to next week. Look, this is Tuesday and it's basically the same as the GFS, taking us through into Friday the 19th. But you notice how, look, this low then moves in out towards the west. Sorry, let me get the ECMWF. There it is. So let's get through to the 19th. There we go. Basically the same sort of set of charts. We've still got low pressure close to the east coast, look, trying to bring that rain back on. But then what it does, and this is where I prefer the ECMWF, is we get this colder northerly flow coming to the north and the west of Scotland and Ireland. It then develops a secondary low across southern parts of Ireland, swings that eastwards, and then brings us into a colder northerly flow during next weekend. To me at the moment, that looks the more likely solution, that we'll go into this unsettled week next week, and that by the end of the week we're looking at some very unsettled conditions, going colder into the weekend with a northerly flow developing. that model seems to ring better for some reason. And then what I think would happen is that into the following week we stay with the northerly, so we stay with sunshine and showers, wintry showers across Scotland. I mean, there'll be wintry showers on this Scotland, Northern England, Northern Ireland by next weekend. Then going nippier into the following week with those wintry showers across the hills. But I think the key to this one is this ridge building in the west, because I think what could happen, this ridge then builds, so we're getting into the 25th, 26th, into the middle part Atlantic, stay with our north and northwesterly flow. So we still get lots of dry weather, but it's going to be cold dry weather too. Eastern coast could still suffer from showers, but I think that final five days of October look as if they could go dry but cold. Frosts by night, nippy days at sort of 10 and 11 degrees, but some sunshine to come too. So I think we do have this disturbed spell of weather coming up at least through until next, and including next weekend and early into the week after. But then I think we could see a settling down, but into colder conditions for the end of the month. So lots of information there again for you, I know. Hopefully not too much. Hopefully you've been able to follow the story and the pattern of how we're watching things develop at the moment. Again, just a reminder, the sites get free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen. So by you coming back and viewing them regularly and looking at the adverts, that's what generates the revenue that keeps it free of charge. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter at Weather School, and also go onto Facebook, do a search for Weather School, and you can follow us on there too. So once again, thanks for watching and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.